Hey, I ran across this article on Google talking about this unfortunate mishap. This lady lost over $700,000 of her retirement, and I thought this was such a sad event. But I thought it would be a good topic to discuss to the community because this is the time that we have to be diligent in making sure that we protect our retirement, that we protect not just ours, but our loved ones. Because this was a woman who was type of kind of like taken away from her unit because they could have protected her from this scam. Now, you may have heard about this scam. It was the gold bar scam that happened a couple days ago. I want to share this footage of the woman who was scammed. We have here, her name is Eva Rothman. Red flag. Woman loses 700K life savings trying to protect her bank account. She kept receipts as proof, but was told nothing is left. Okay. So you would think, how would someone fall for a scam that all of their life savings were taken away? Well, with the help of AI and making things seem so real, Miss Eva Rothman got scammed out of her life savings. And last year, Rothman lost $700,000 in 2 months. So it was a process that she was scammed by. Okay. Rothman received fake U.S. Treasury Department receipts from the scammers. So based off of getting these receipts, she believed that this was real. Another thing is that the scammers demanded that Rothman purchase gold worth over $600,000. And she gave up some cash as well. This is right here what just baffled me. Like, how did they get away with this intricate plan? They didn't have to break in a bank, break in her home. She willfully gave over $600,000 worth of money, turned it into gold. But I have a video here that I would like to share that goes into more details. So let's check it out. Okay.
Listen up, guys. This is a scary one. There is a new scam circulating that is worth its weight in gold. Victims are being convinced they have to back up their bank accounts with the precious metal, and the scammers are tricking victims into going and buying gold bars and then picking the gold up at their front door.
And this is happening everywhere, as you'd imagine, across the country. 7 on your sides, Nina Pineda here with the warning.
Wow,
This
is
is
so
Nina.
scary. And this is an active law enforcement investigation. They are looking for suspects in this grand larceny, and police are saying these relentless criminals hooked a Queens woman into sending them her life savings. What's scary, guys, is this started in cyberspace and then jumped to the sidewalk.
Ooh.
And by the time she realized it was a scam, they had cleaned her out.
Have you heard about this scam? This.
And that's the amazing part of the whole thing. Just we can go a little further. That she was, she talked to the scammers, and she followed the instructions, and she was told not to tell anybody. So this right here is something we have to make sure that we look out for our elderly, because you understand the biggest wealth transfer is happening now. All baby boomers, they're going to be handing over $84 trillion in the next 20 years. So these scams will be coming like the speed of light. Let's go in and continue watching to see exactly what happened.
People.
I read it in the paper.
Store owner Aziz Amin says he only heard about the gold bar scam, making headlines across the country months after he sold 24-karat gold bars and coins to a Forest Hills wife and mother.
How much did you end up sending these scammers?
$700,000
$700,000.
total.
Eva Rothman was warned to keep what she was doing a secret.
Hi, Eva. This is FTC Officer John from the Federal Trade Commission Department.
She was convinced by this imposter, pretending to work for the government, that her bank accounts were hacked and that she was being watched.
Well, they were saying that I was under surveillance and that I could go to jail if I told anybody. And I can't even tell my own family that lives with me because they would be taken into custody.
They would be taken into custody?
Over 2 months of emails, phone calls, and texts, Mrs. Rothman was manipulated. First into draining her checking account, instructed to place $20,000 cash in a shoebox, go outside to the street and wait.
I brought the money down, the box down, a car pulled up.
You place it in the backseat?
Yeah.
But it would get much, much worse. The fake agent would then control her into cashing out a recent inheritance.
Eva was then told to come here to Jackson Heights to a specific store and buy gold bars. She did this 3 times.
In the space of 1 week, she would take a taxi, go up to the shop, purchase gold bars and gold coins.
I asked her, I said, what are you going to do with all this gold? She said, I want to give it to my daughter.
The first purchase, May 15th, was $123,000, then $249,000. 10 10-ounce 24-karat bars a day later went up to $305,000. The grand total with the shoebox, $20K in cash, $698,355.
They even asked me to take pictures of it and just bring it downstairs and put it in the car.
If it can happen to my family, it can happen to any.
The rabbi of Community Synagogue in Port Washington wanted to warn others that his aunt got wiped out.
$20,000 is a lot of money. $700,000 is unthinkable. There's not a cent left.
I would say, would you do this to your mother? I just can't understand why people do these things. They don't have a heart. They're not human. I mean, it's terrible.
And we do have an update. This also happened in Long Island because we understand now the Nassau County DA has made an arrest of an alleged gold bar courier. He is in jail. This was another case involving the exact same.
Can't they track those gold bars? There must be serial numbers on them, right?
There are serial numbers, but you could just melt them down.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? This story in our content meeting, I mean, it created such a conversation. The first thought is, how do we protect ourselves? So it had to have been convincing. How did they get to her in the first place?
It's a good question, Danny.
The thing about this, which is so sad, they go into more details exactly how this could have happened. And one thing about it, this lady was checking flights online. She was trying to find deals online, stumbled across a website that had some malware. They sent a message by controlling the computer. She was not aware. Everything seemed real based off of what she's seen, the phone calls, the instructions to bring the money downstairs. This is a lesson that we have to make sure we are diligent in protecting not just ourselves, but our loved ones, that they don't fall for scams. There's a lot of seniors who are not that tech savvy. We need to make sure that our loved ones who do have access to the internet, who do purchase things, who do surf the net, is aware of these phishing and malware tactics that scammers use. Now, why did they use gold? Because once the cash was transferred into gold, is off the market. They can do whatever they need to. They can melt the gold. They can get rid of the gold. They can disperse the gold where they need to go. This is a rural thing. It's something that you just don't expect that someone will give out willingly $700,000. But this scammer used all type of scare techniques. I want to also focus on something else that we have to keep in the back of our minds about the boomers. Okay. And we have to realize that the biggest wealth transfer is happening now. So I'd like to pull up some information on that as well, so we can talk about this, because this is going to happen, and it's going to happen a lot in the upcoming future, just because of the wealth transfer. So let's check that out right now. I found some information about that as well. Let's do that. Okay, so we have here, all right, the biggest wealth transfer. All right, let me go here to, you can pull that up. Let's check that out. So we have that the Great Wealth Transfer is the name given to the transfer of wealth from baby boomers to millennials, Generation X, and Generation Z in the United States. Is expected to be the largest wealth transfer in the U.S. history. Okay, what's happening? Baby boomers are passing down their wealth to younger generations. This transfer is expected to rebalance the generational income gap. The transfer could impact housing markets as properties change hands. The transfer could also impact commercial real estate markets. Okay, how much wealth is involved? The transfer is estimated to be worth around $84 trillion. The average inheritance in the United States is nearly $750,000, but it can be much higher. Who would inherit the wealth? Okay, let's check this out. Baby boomers are expected to inherit $4 trillion. Gen X is expected to inherit $30 trillion. Millennials are expected to inherit $27 trillion, and Gen Z is expected to inherit $11 trillion. All right. So how would the transfer impact the economy? The transfer could cause major shifts in who holds financial power. The transfer could also reshape housing and commercial real estate markets. Okay. So this is right here. This information is right in line with what just happened. When asked, what is she planning to do with this money? She said, pass it on to her daughter, right? Even though it was a scam, it was camouflaged as something passed on to the next generation. Miss Rothman was a baby boomer. So this scam is going to hit more senior citizens in the near future. And we have to make sure that we pay close attention to those in our circles, our loved ones, our grandmothers, our mothers, our aunties, anyone in our family who could fall prey to something like this. Okay. So I just wanted to bring this up because I thought it was very interesting. And it's something that the community needs to hear, because I have family members who are passing homes to their loved ones. I'm having family members who are passing resources, financial resources. So we have to be aware that this won't happen. The reason why I brought this up, because precious metals was involved. You had gold being the commodity that was used to turn her fiat into $20,000 in cash and over $600,000, worth of her retirement. Now, this Eva Rothman has to do a GoFundMe, because now all she has is her Social Security. Guys, we have to be careful with these scams. It can happen to Eva. It can happen to anyone. Believe me. Okay. So guys, before I go any further, I want to make sure that this is fair use. So I want to make sure that I have my disclaimer on before I go any further. So guys, hold on for that.
Disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing.
All right, you tell me what you think inside the comments. Do you think this can happen to you? Do you think it can happen to your loved ones? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget, guys, to hit that like button, leave a comment, make sure you share the video, and make sure you remember that I'm JT Coin Rings, where I talk coin rings and all things precious metals. And if you need a coin ring, make sure you come to your guy, okay? I'll see you in the next video. Take care.
Take pride in your stack and wear it. Johnson Toe is an American craftsman who could take your favorite coin design and create art that you'd be very proud to wear and something very special to share. JT Coin Rings, handcrafts, handmade jewelry, especially for you.